hip-hop minute. Earthlings, what's up?
It's your man SKYZOO.
There's 92 crew.
Sasha Mackey.
Yo, this is K Mayfield, Mania Music Group. What's good, people? This is your man 49 live and direct.
Roby from the Tribe Class.
I am Eternia from my mother's womb.
This is Dead End Hip Hop.
Dead End Hip Hop.
Dead End Hip Hop.
Rockin' with Dead End Hip Hop.
Shout out to Dead End Hip Hop. Dead End Hip Hop.
Dead End Hip Hop. Dead in Hip Hop.
All right, first and foremost, want to welcome MisanthropikOne to the show, the long-awaited debut from him. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this collab, so we finally got together and made it happen. What up, homie?
What up?
That's it, just what up?
What up? Gotta do the whole intro. Yeah. What up, bitches? It's a MisanthropikOne. Back up in this bitch for another rant.
We're going to talk about today. I want to shout out a topic that was suggested to us. It came from J Waters 12 from YouTube. And basically what he's asking, or what he has asked, is whether or not is hip hop respected as an art form, and will it ever be respected as an art form? So, thoughts? Want to kick it off? Easy?
No.
Go ahead, B.
Mike kick it off.
I'm tired, dog.
You don't never kick nothing off.
Nah, man, fuck that.
Yeah, but he's long-winded, so.
Shit. Look who's talking. Ain't that Precious calling Oprah fat? For real?
Wow.
Get out of here.
Come on, man.
I'm long-winded.
Still the mic,
Give them presidential speeches every time he says something. Right. Fine, fuck that shit. Okay.
FIFO.
Is it currently respected as a valid art form? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree with C-Tom, man. I don't think it's really respected in terms of like with all of the other genres of music. But I think, it's part of the reason of the image that hip-hop has overall. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these motherfuckers, how can you take them serious?
Who do you blame? Is it anybody?
What? Jump right into it.
I'm just asking them a question.
Look, man, whenever there's blame, it's never on one side. You know what I'm saying? Like, if me and you have a problem, it's rarely gonna be just me. You have something to do with it too. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously we have some type of relation. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's easy to blame corporate. It's very easy because they have all the money. I think it is. It's very easy to blame corporate.
Corporate or the media will always want to act like, oh, the media only shows these people. Well, those are the only motherfuckers that are hot right now. Those are the only ones that are out and making money.
But should they bear the blame for it, though? Well, what do you think? What do you think?
I keep it short and sweet. I say yes and no because it's respected by people like us. But on the grand scheme of things, I don't think so because, a lot of these fucking MCs come out and make the shit so easy and so childlike that in the grand scheme of things, people don't look at it and take it seriously. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it.
So, like you saying, they look at like a Soldier Boy type person and be like, "Oh, I don't take that shit serious."
Yeah, or like Flocka. He says himself that he's not a good rapper and he sucks at really MCing. So, people look up to him and idolize and edify that motherfucker, and that's what people see as the face of rap and shit.
And then they think it's easy to get on when they see a Waka Flocka or Gucci Mane.
I just did the video about the hashtag rap shit. Like, everybody thinks it's so fucking easy. It takes no fucking skill whatsoever. There's no skill involved in that shit. And motherfuckers think it's easy to just jump on the bandwagon. We got too many rappers, but not enough MCs. You know what I'm saying? So That's how I feel about the shit.
The reason why it's easy to blame media and corporate and all of that is because they're the ones that's these artists are the ones that's being promoted. So these guys get dubbed as the face of hip hop, like Lil Wayne's and all of these guys. But if you listen to any other genre of music, 9 times out of 10, there's some type of message, there's some type of feeling, there's some type of something in the music. But when you listen to what the face of hip hop is, the fuck are they talking about? Oh, let me touch it so I know it's real. Like we letting our kids listen to this shit, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to say the good hip hop or the real hip hop, but the other hip hop that does not get played has the substance. And to me, there's no balance. And I always talk about it. There's no balance. So that's the reason why, to me, hip hop doesn't get taken serious, because all of the shit that gets promoted is the coonery.
What is portrayed as.
So you think it's the fans' fault as well for
yes, it is part of the fans' fault as well.
So pretty much, if it's no more Lil Wayne's fans, you think it'll be okay?
You think
No.
What you about to say?
No. It's not an extreme. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't have no Lil Wayne fans. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that in the same light that Lil Wayne gets promotion and stuff like that, we need to promote some of these other artists as well. Like artists that are real MCs,
like
Big Crits,
Elzot,
Fontes, all of them guys. You know what I'm saying? They should get the same type of.
So you can hear that good content that they spitting, and they be like, okay, yeah, I can appreciate hip hop for what it is.
I agree with what you're saying, but it's not okay. So would you agree that the face of hip hop was coonery in the 90s? Would you say that?
Nah, the face of hip hop.
Okay, so stop there.
Okay.
So the face of hip hop. No, I'm not trying to cut him off.
No, he's making a point.
Because I feel you. But the thing is, it wasn't respected then either. It wasn't respected in the 70s. It wasn't respected in the 80s, the 90s, or now. So if the face of hip hop was not coonery in the 80s or the 90s, why wasn't it respected then?
Maybe because it was new. It
wasn't new. It was 20 years in by that point.
So
and during the 90s, and actually better yet, during the 80s, it was a really popular music genre. So I don't think the new and the thing is, when new stuff comes out, that's when people jump on it. When Rock first came out, you know, all the kids were jumping and saying, yeah, this is great. But they were sitting, you know, the adults were just like, oh, I don't understand what this is. This is just weird. I don't get it. Same thing with hip hop, right? You make a valid point, but your point still has a flaw, because in the 80s and 90s, the face of hip hop was like crack music and all of this hard shit. So it has evolved. In the 80s and the 90s? Jay-Z? In the 80s and the 90s? The 80s? Who was okay, not the 80s. I'm talking about like late 80s. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, I was born in 84. In the 80s. Yeah, I know. That's but I'm just saying, like Jay-Z, Nas, all Mobb Deep, like all of these New York cats that was coming out. That was in the 90s. Yeah, dog. Okay, that was in the late 80s. Okay, but I'm saying 90s. Okay, I'm saying 90s. I'm saying I'll take away the 80s. Take away the 80s. I'll take away 80s. So you in the mid 90s? Halfway in that motherfucker already. I can't really talk on the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to say, man, you really. So 90s. I could really talk on the 90s. 90s was the crack era of hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was super hard. Everybody was talking about the block. Everybody was talking about moving weight, doing this, because that shit was really an epidemic at the time. So it wasn't taken serious because the shit of what they were talking about. Okay, I would normally agree with you, but then take people like a Bob Dylan or a Bruce Springsteen, who they might talk about the same kind of stuff, right? But they are respected. You know, take the Rolling Stones. If you want to say that, say it, dog. Oh, okay. If you take the Rolling Stones, or you take the Beatles, or anybody else who they might, or Pink Floyd, who may have written songs about stuff that's going on, they're still respected as a valid, you know, artist, valid poets, valid musicians. But if you have a hip hop artist, they're not respected in the same way. So what is that? Well, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Because I think there are certain hip hop artists that are valid poets and valid musicians. To who though? I think to a mainstream, like Common. Most deaf. Yeah, but look what happened when Common went to the White House. No, that's not true. No. Yeah. I feel you that they get flack, but you know, like I said, I think it has to do a lot with say it, bro. It has a lot to do with the skin color. Racist motherfucker.
I think it has a lot to do with the skin color because in the culture, you know, if you're in a predominantly black culture, of course you're going to be embraced by blacks. But if you're a white person talking about this stuff, who are you going to be embraced by? You're going to be embraced by white people. So they always are going to outnumber us.
I was going to say, I agree with FIFO with the fact that there's no balance anymore. That has a lot to do with it. I talked about that various times, you know. Like I said before, you're pushing forward these whack-ass artists, or artists, I guess, for lack of a better word. You know, you're pushing them forward and again, making it look real simple, real easy, real cheesy. And again, as FIFO said with the whole race thing, I was about to say that shit. You know, when you got something as hard and as aggressive as, you know, I guess you could say some of the earlier rap shit, you know, and it's embraced by us blacks.
I'm real hard on the race card because I feel like we use that a lot. And I feel like sometimes it's a cop-out, sometimes it's valid, but sometimes it's a cop-out. I don't think it's easy enough to say that rap is not respected just on the sole fact that the majority of them are black. Because, you know, like I said, jazz was respected, but I think it had to do with the fact that jazz musicians didn't carry themselves the way rap musicians do. They're wearing zoot suits, looking smooth as shit, and they're actually playing instruments. Yeah. I think that's a lot of the reason why hip-hop isn't respected, but at the same time, why are they not respected as poets?
But I think it's the content as well. You know what I'm saying? You also have to look at the content of the genre.
They're not carrying themselves well. That's what I mean.
So like in hip-hop, to me, like the content of hip-hop, you know, in the 90s, again, I can't talk about the 80s, in the 90s, you know, it was real crack era, it was real, all of that. So when I'm saying that it was like part racial, is because a lot of blacks grew up in the hood. You said a lot of blacks grew up around crack sales.
Hip hop is portrayed as ignorant. It's not respected as an art form.
That's the main thing that I would say. I think all the other stuff is completely secondary. That point right there. Yeah, I think that sums it up. Because I think that we just, I don't want to say we because I'm not a rapper, but MCs nowadays, the ones that are considered the face of hip hop, they don't portray themselves well, and they don't show that they have any respect for the art form itself. Exactly. They don't show any respect for where it came from.
Like no passion for it.
None.
It's just, they just say, I'm doing this just to get on.
And like I said, if it's just a musician standpoint of, because I've heard people say, well, they don't even, you know, they don't play instruments, they don't die. Why are they musicians? Okay, well fine, then why won't we consider them poets? You know, well, how come we won't look at a Tupac and say that he's a poet? Yeah. Why won't we look at a Biggie, you know, and say that, or Nas, and say that's a poet? Why do we just say, you know, that's just some guy talking gibberish?
Post-mortem people now consider, well, you know, Tupac of course has that book, you know, out with his, you know, with his lyrics and his songs, you know, basically in poetry form. Right. So, but again, that came post-mortem. That came after people had a chance to actually evaluate and analyze his work. But prior to then, when he was running around, you know,
in camera's face,
right.
They was like, "This ain't no art form. What is this crap?" Like, it was scaring me. It was
but isn't it an art form though?
It was scaring people.
Of course, I say it is. But you know, with every art form, there's always those people that are involved that are fucking it up. You know, there's always those people that will get popular off of doing, you know, shit that the originators don't see as being a valid piece of the art form.
So other genres are not like that?
So no, that's what I was gonna say. I think that
I said more in rap than in any other genre though. You don't see that shit so much in any other genre. I mean, it rock, but that's about it. Rap is the most tainted out of all the fucking art forms out there.
Let someone get shot, or someone like 50 Cent, for example. 50 Cent, or that situation with him in the game, that got blown out way proportion. They just thought hip hop was just so negative because the game and 50 Cent were shooting at each other, or 50 Cent and Ja Rule were shooting at each other, and they just blew that way out of proportion. You don't never see that in other genres.
And that's what I'm saying. They make that into,
like you said, the way they carry themselves. It goes back to the way they carry themselves, man. It's stupid. I'm sorry.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they make that type of shit bigger than the music when it's not.
When it's not.
When it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
but it should be. But it's ratings, though.
Right, exactly. Whose fault is that? Because we're the ones that, you know, damn well, the second we heard that Common and Drake got in a fist fight, we were all jumping online trying to find it. Okay, everybody but Raphael was trying to find out. Because you know, everybody else trying to find out what happened.
Like the whole 50 game thing, I didn't care. Like honestly, I can honestly say I didn't care. I didn't care. You know. Okay, Mike.
You want the tracks? You want the song?
What I liked was 500 Bars by Game. When he dropped that shit, I was like, wow.
Yeah, we all like the songs, but we all want to know the background too. Come on, dog.
I want to know the
Don't
background.
tell me that if somebody comes out and they say, you know, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. You're not gonna be like, well, what is he talking about? You're just like, oh, that's a dope bar. Moving on. No, you're gonna want to know what he's talking about. We all want to know the background. Not saying we should get involved and really, really into it and be all deep like these fucking crab ass dudes do, but we do want to know the background. I mean, if I hear somebody's having a beef, I want to go look up and see where the beef came from.
Can art be entertaining?
Art is supposed to be.
So, so if art is supposed to be entertaining and we have artists entertaining people, what's wrong with that?
Because I think the issue is they're entertaining, but at the same time, they're also kind of hurting because they're influencing people to do shit that they really shouldn't be doing. Like when I talk about this kind of thing, I always talk about separating the art from the artist, right? Like so, because like I have had discussions before, like Hitler. Like if Hitler did an amazing piece of art, can we actually appreciate it because Hitler made it?
People are like, no, it's Hitler.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
And I don't agree with that necessarily. I should say, well, shit, judging on what it is, right? If it's a fucking amazing piece of art, who gives a shit who made it?
Exactly.
But can we really do that with everything? Can we say, oh, well, you know, 50 Cent makes great music, let's just judge him on that? Or do we throw in the fact that he's running around in the streets shooting at people or selling drugs or this and that?
They don't.
So can we do that? We don't do that with hip-hop or with music really in general.
Well, it almost sounded like what FIFA was saying is that because some of these artists on a bigger level and they appeal or reach a bigger people and they entertain people, that it almost seemed like they shouldn't be included in hip-hop or in the art form of hip-hop because they are at that level, like Lil Wayne. So are we saying Lil Wayne doesn't do art in hip-hop?
I think it's all art, but it comes a time when you say, you know, you can't exactly.
Like,
I don't like judging people's art and saying if it's good or bad.
Yeah, like,
so it's difficult when it comes to music because of course you have your own perception of what you know you want it to sound like, just like you have your own perception of what you want art to look like. You know, you may not like everybody's piece. You may like Andy Warhol, but you may hate Pollock. You know what I'm saying?
Let me chime in on that shit, like with the whole art and artist thing that Ken was just referring to. I watched a documentary, I forget what channel it was on, called Why We Laugh. It was about black comedy, how it started, its influence, and how it carries on today. And when I was listening to it and watching it, it was kind of hand in hand with hip-hop, all the shit that they were saying. And back in the days when these comedians would put on, were the blackface comedians or whatever you want to call them, the Sambos or whatever. It was entertaining, but I mean, could you really call that art? I mean, it's sort of like a mockery in a way, you know what I mean? And today I see it as the same thing, you know, it's just a mockery of, you know, all right, this is hip hop, this is what we're gonna market to these fucking fools, and people eat it up. It's a fucking commodity, you know what I mean? And the real shit gets pushed to the side. Like I said, it's just fucking redundant to me, and that's how I fucking feel about it. As for all these other artists that I say are whack, you know, it's still art, but like Mike was saying, you know, everything is art, and it's how you perceive it. You know, like some people think abstract art is simple ass shit. People, you know, painting circles and squares and shit, but you know, in my eyes, I think it's beautiful, you know what I mean? So everything's hand in hand to me.
Mainstream artists are the blackface artists in hip hop.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with him 100%.
Yeah.
Why do you think Lil Brother named the album The Minstrel Show? I think that's what they're talking about. Like, those dudes are seriously putting on blackface, but they don't even know it. Yep. It's like they're portraying a really fucked up stereotype. And the issue, coonery and buffoonery, and the shit. And the problem is, little kids, and not just little kids, but people our age even, look up to these dudes, and they want to portray what they see. So they think that, you know, just by listening to a Game album, or by listening to, you know, a Wayne album. They think that that gives them a reason to go act like fucking idiots and run around with fucking guns and grills and cover themselves head to toe in terrible fucking tattoos and think that that's what they're supposed to do because that is hip hop and that's not. But then again, who are we to say what is hip hop and what's not though? Who are we to say that Lil Wayne ain't hip hop?
Right, because it goes back to the perception of art. What
we
think is bad, the other person think is good.
But see, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's not a balance. Like, because I think Lil Wayne is hip hop, but where's the Lil Wayne equivalent of the truth, or the other side of hip hop? Well, not the truth. Okay, bad word to use. But you know what I'm saying. What's the other side of the spectrum of Lil Wayne that's getting promoted equally?
People.
Exactly. No one's buying it.
It doesn't sell.
No one's buying it. No one's supporting it. No one's buying it. No one is supporting it.
But Michael Eric Dyson also had a very good point in an interview he did. I forget what show it was on, but he said if you really want to see artists criticizing politics and social issues going on right now in the world, or do you want to really see people shaking their ass and wearing a lot of gold chains and promoting all of the stuff that sell like Nikes and cars and stuff like that? You know, so it's easier to sell the entertainment part of hip hop as an art form than it is to sell the socially reflecting or challenging part of hip hop.
And you know what? You're 100% right, because I've asked a couple of young people, you know, what they think about the things that's happening in the world. Because a lot of them are blind to it, and then the ones that kind of, you know, whatever, they be like, man, I just don't care. And it's like, yo, do you understand the shit that's happening in the world right now?
They look up to aren't telling them
exactly, and that's the problem, and that's the reason why I said the word truth.
Right. Where did it go wrong though? Where did it go wrong? Because at one point in time, we all know that we had Public Enemy, we had X-Clan. We had all of these people that were receiving the airplay on the airwaves to the point where their messages were being sent out to the people that were listening. What happened? Is it because more and more people started listening? Because if you think about when they were on the airwaves, I think hip hop then was really kind of they had an hour, or they had a particular station, or they had a certain section at night that people would listen to it, but it isn't like it is now where it's everywhere. Yeah. So what happened to cause the change over the last decade or so?
I say 1997 happened. After Biggie died, P. Diddy ran with it, put that whole fucking money shit in people's ears, and that's when hip-hop died. To me, that's just my opinion, because everyone started jumping on that fucking bandwagon, materialism. I mean, materialism was always there, but it was, to me, it was more of a artsy type thing. Like Ice-T talked about African medallions and shit, but he related it to the rhymes and shit like that. You know what I mean? It always went back to hip-hop. Nowadays, it's just easy to talk about your bling and this and that, what I got that's better than yours and shit. But let me go back to the other thing you were talking about with the mainstream artists and shit. I don't think all of them represent blackface, because there are some mainstream artists that I see that are somewhat valid in my eyes. Like, you know, like when the Fugees came out, they were mainstream, they were selling millions of fucking albums, but they still had soul, you know what I mean? To me, hip-hop is shit that you could feel in your blood, you know, shit that gives you goosebumps when you listen to it, shit that makes you want to go back and back and back and rewind this shit, and you just want to, you know, suck your whole mind into this shit, you know what I'm saying? And today, none of that shit is around. That's why it's not respected. I mean, that's it. I mean, blackface is running shit.